And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Monday, February 24th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylie Dudman. Our top story this afternoon, a Dallas mother is behind bars after her 19-year-old daughter with severe autism was found dead in deplorable conditions. Dawn White has the story.
A small memorial and a sense of sadness remain outside the home where 19-year-old Delilah Villegas died.
I'm pretty shocked because our neighborhood's kind of quiet right now, so having something like that close to home is crazy.
Denise Gomez has lived in the neighborhood on Horseshoe Trail in Balch Springs for years.
We never saw the girl come out. If you didn't live over here for a while, you would never know that she was there.
Balch Springs police say they found Delilah, who has autism and is nonverbal, dead inside the home on February 14th. Investigators say her mom, Crystal Canales, called 911 to report Delilah was having trouble breathing. Officers smelled something foul coming from the teen's bedroom and then found her dead in a near fetal position.
They thought she was probably 13 and didn't realize she was 19 years old. It was, as described, skin to bone. There was large lacerations exposing decaying limbs.
According to the affidavit of probable cause, they found a deadbolt and lock on the teen's bedroom door and believe she had been dead for 6 to 24 hours. She
Looked like she was in a mummified, in a mummy state of on the floor.
The girl's mother is charged with injury to a disabled individual, a second-degree felony. We spoke to a woman who didn't want to show her face on camera. She says her daughter went to school with Delilah. She sent us these pictures and a video saying they're of Delilah, who she hasn't seen since 2020.
And I hope she could rest in peace because nobody deserves to be suffering like that.
And that was Dawn White reporting. Investigators say Delilah's grandmother and great uncle also live in the home. The grandmother claimed she hadn't seen her in weeks. Meanwhile, the uncle told police he hadn't seen her in a year, even though they all live in the same home. The grandmother and great uncle don't face any charges at this time. Well, new this afternoon, we now know the name of a man arrested in Choctaw County and later found to be wanted for murder in Texas. Sheriff Terry Park says Kyler Deal was arrested on February 14th for illegal possession of a firearm. Park says they then learned Deal is a suspect in the death of Larry Smith, who went missing from Franklin County 2 weeks ago. Smith's body was found Friday near the Sulphur River on the Franklin and Red River County line. Now, according to Franklin County Sheriff Ricky Jones, Deal faces a charge of capital murder. Significant layoffs for 600 civilian workers at Oklahoma's largest single-site employer, Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma Voice reports the positions include aircraft maintenance, logistics, cybersecurity, and administrative support. Now, it remains unclear what severance, if any, will be offered. And a major overnight closure this week on Highway 75 in Denison. TxDOT says starting at 9 Wednesday night, all northbound lanes will be closed beginning at exit 65. Traffic will be diverted to FM 691 near TMC. Now, this is for the removal of a large overhead sign. The removal will reopen around 5 Thursday morning. And for those early morning commuters today, it was a bit of a foggy one, but now that the sun's up, the fog is kind of out of Texoma.
Yeah, some of us just a little tiny bit of lingering cloud cover, but yeah, most of that fog is completely mixed out of here, and it is warming up quickly, especially for the areas that have seen more sunshine today. Notice that we're already knocking on the door to 70 for some. But the eastern half of the area has been struggling with a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, unfortunately. But now that it has officially cleared, we went from the mid 40s to the low 50s. So it is a start. But yeah, we are already seeing our warming trend continue here. And honestly, it's going to be a phenomenal week for everybody. So we will continue to warm. Some of us will be in the 70s today, while others be in the 60s. But either way, the most important thing out of this forecast is it's sunny and it's not freezing even through the overnight hours. So we get a very, very nice opportunity to breathe, catch our breaths, maybe open up the windows and enjoy at least what I'm calling the spring of deception here. Now, I'm not saying that a third Arctic blast or anything's on the way, but at least right now we can't rule it out as we head into March and April. There usually is at least one more good front that we watch, but either way, we have a lot of nice weather to look forward to and maybe even some spring thunderstorms into next week, which we're going to talk about in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. Taking a look at our national news now. Today, another Trump executive order kicks in. All federal workers must return to the office or face losing their job. And as Fox's Rebecca Castor reports, Elon Musk also wants government employees to submit productivity reports to justify their positions.
Federal employees have a question to answer. What did you do last week? Elon Musk and Doge want to know and are giving workers until 11:59 tonight to respond to an email listing 5 accomplishments.
If you can't name 5 things that you did last week, then you should not be on the government payroll.
But some workers are being told not to respond, including staff at the FBI and the Pentagon. Meanwhile, time is up for federal employees working remotely.
It's a tremendous waste of taxpayer dollars to be paying for people and offices that are not showing up for work.
Elon Musk says starting this week, those who still fail to return to office will be placed on administrative leave. And he defended his aggressive cost-cutting measures at the conservative CPAC conference last week.
It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Thousands of federal workers have already lost their jobs, with as many as 200,000 potentially out the door. In addition, 75,000 employees accepted buyouts.
If I could say one thing to Elon Musk, it's like, please put a dose of compassion in this. These are real people. These are real lives. These are mortgages. It's a false narrative to say we have to cut and you have to be cruel to do it as well. We can do both.
A new federal lawsuit challenging Musk's threat to fire federal workers who don't list their accomplishments was filed in California Monday. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
The current U.S. egg shortage has led businesses looking to their only international option, Turkey. Turkey is the only country the United States imports eggs from, and now it's set to export a record-breaking 420 million eggs to the United States this year. But experts warn this won't make much of a dent in America's egg shortage. Prices are expected to rise another 20% this year. Well, Pope Francis remains in critical condition. Sunday, the Vatican said that blood tests were showing mild signs of kidney failure that is, quote, currently under control, end quote. The Pope, now suffering from double pneumonia, required high-flow oxygen and blood transfusions after suffering a prolonged asthma-like respiratory crisis on Saturday. But still, on Sunday, the Pope took part in the Holy Mass from the apartment set up on the 10th floor of a hospital. And today marks 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, setting off a deadly and costly war. European and world leaders are showing support in Ukraine's capital today, while U.S. policies on Russia and Ukraine have changed under President Donald Trump. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Demonstrations around the United States this weekend, and a moment of silence today of EU ministers marks 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. Many European and world leaders are in Kyiv for a summit and a show of support.
We must do everything in our power to enable Ukraine to secure a just and lasting peace.
It is not only the destiny of Ukraine that is at stake, it is Europe's destiny that is at stake.
President Trump is at the White House meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron to talk about ending the war.
The president's meeting with his French counterpart today and the British Prime Minister later this week come as European allies worry that negotiations between the U.S. and Russia could result in a less favorable outcome for Ukraine.
We left a lot of it.
Speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference this weekend, President Trump said he believes he can negotiate an end to fighting, but is also pressing Ukraine for U.S. access to rare earth minerals.
I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up, and I'm going to try and get the war settled, and I'm going to try and get all that death ended. So we're asking for rare earth and oil, anything we can get.
During a public feud with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, Trump last week placed blame on Ukraine for the prolonged war.
What the president has done is reframe the war in a way that's just not true, and I think it's evidence that Vladimir Putin is playing him.
H.R. McMaster served as a national security advisor during President Trump's first term.
Those were all the Kremlin's talking points that you heard him roll out.
Over the weekend, Russia launched a record number of drones into Ukraine, destroying infrastructure and killing at least 3 people. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.